Hey, what's going on? Brad Tragic here. Once again, another review on the Wednesday, crazy wrestling review. What happened last night was pure crap. I don't even think I could get like 30 minutes out of this video because there's no fucking way I can talk about it. It was horrible. I mean, it was so bad last night. I'm sitting there trying to think what actually did happen on Raw because off the rope show, Tree Row show. Sometimes Tree Row show's pretty good. They talk about everything, but off the rope show. Um, they kind of skip over things sometimes, and it made me think what actually did happen and they didn't talk about, and I couldn't remember some of this stuff, and it's just like wow, okay, I don't know. It started off basically with Big Show in the ring. It's like it's like a Triple H thing. I hope to God he's not going to be like that because people will definitely stop watching it. I'm about there to the point where I'm going to start watching TNA more than Raw because this is not like entertaining anymore. It's becoming it's just like a chore to watch Monday Night Raw anymore. And, well, actually SmackDown would probably be more entertaining than Raw nowadays. But I mean, I've never watched SmackDown because it's never appealed to me that well either. But Raw's always been the better show, but it may actually be the worst show now. I don't know. I haven't seen SmackDown in a while. But Big Show started off rambling. Who cares what Big Show says? He shouldn't even be in a main event storyline. That's just retarded. I don't even know why they're even giving him. Unless this is going to end up in a career match or something like that, then yeah. I mean, I don't think anybody cares who puts the Big Show out. He's been in the business long enough. He doesn't really have. I mean, that's the thing about big guys. They don't have that much of a staying power unless you're a guy like Brock Lesnar, unless you're a guy like Batista, unless you're a guy like The Undertaker who can, be that big guy, but actually be able to have agility and things like that, which Big Show has. And he can do drop kicks. We've seen that in WCW and everything. That's what made him, I think, stand out as a bigger guy. But I just think he can't do as much stuff as he used to do. When's the last time you seen Big Show do a drop kick? I don't think I've seen him do one for a while. I think he goes to the top rope. I don't know if he went to the top rope lately. He has in the past, I know, but he just doesn't do that much anymore. He's just basically a grounded giant now, just basically like a freaking English version of Great Khali, which, Great Khali has this mystique about him. So he's still Khali's still got some staying power, but Big Show needs to step aside and let Khali, take his place basically right now because, I think Big Show maybe go TNA, give them a giant for once, give them an opportunity, to possibly put the strap on Big Show in TNA. I mean, it'd be something different, somebody to feud with or, put him as like the bodyguard, for Hulk Hogan or something like that, I think it'd be better for him if he maybe went to TNA or if he went to, somewhere else and, did something else. But we had some good matches, minus the crappy ones. But like I said, I'm going to skip around here. I'm going to talk about the crappy matches first. We got in the main event tonight, we got the Big Show, because I just want to get the Big Show crap over with. Big Show and Brodus Clay. I was excited for this match. I'm like, this could save the show. What do we get? We got a beatdown on Brodus Clay, in which a lot of people said they were burying him. I don't agree with that. It's a storyline. I understand that. And as soon as they didn't get in the ring, I'm like, oh, well, that's what they're doing. They're not going to have him lose. They're just going to have him get beat down so they can save Brodus Clay, save his streak. So I seen that. I seen where that was going. But it's just seeing him get beat down doesn't help his, character either. He's supposed to be a guy who can beat people up, in 30 seconds. I think he should be able to give Big Show a little bit of a fight. Big Show is a big guy, but Brodus is pretty big too. He probably could have took him. And I mean, who knows if maybe Big Show, said, hey, you do this for me, and later on, I'll take the fall for you, blah, blah. And I hope that happens, because it should happen. With Brodus taking a beat in his lifetime. Because, he's basically laid there and didn't take anything. You've seen him get beat up in the ring and jump right up. So, it kind of doesn't make any sense to me why this happened. And it kind of made the show go right down to the shitter. And I think, when you have a main event like this, and it's not even the main event. It was like a huge, 20-minute storyline at the end of Raw, and it was really stupid. It's like Triple H standing in the ring talking for 20 minutes, really having no point at all, and then the show goes off the air. It's just like, what the hell is that all about? I didn't understand it, like he's talking about his marriage to Stephanie, having a baby or something, and the show goes off the air. It'd be about the same thing. It's like, no, we don't want that. We want a match in the main event. We want an actual match. The ending happens. Maybe something at the end, 4 minutes after the show ends. We don't want a beat down at the end of the Raw. It was stupid. And then the thing that got me is like they could have put any guy. They could have had Mason Ryan come out trying. Oh, I better stop him. They could have had anybody come out. But they had two of the smallest guys in the locker room, Kofi Kingston and R-Truth, come out and try and stop the Big Show. It's like, if Brodus Clay can't stop the Big Show, why the hell would they come out? That's just my thing. Yeah, they're their friends. Who gives a shit? They're going to get their ass kicked because they're like a fourth or like an eighth of the size Big Show is. Stupid. Doesn't make any sense. I don't know. You'd think like the twins would have went back, and said, hey, you got to stop the Big Show. Talk to Mason Ryan or talk to, I don't know, Kali back there. Kali would have made sense. But then they don't want to start another storyline before, John Cena's that would. Just doesn't make any sense. So why is your biggest star doing a fucking Memorial Day video but doesn't even show up on Raw? Anyway. Then we get another crappy match. It was Christian versus The Miz. I'm sorry, but I like Christian, but I don't know what they're doing with him now. I don't understand. They're not having him talk. They're not having him present himself in any way to where the fans are going, oh yeah, this guy's a good character. He's boring. He comes to the ring, he wrestles, doesn't say a word on the microphone, leaves. I don't get it. I don't understand. They're not having him do anything, as the Intercontinental Champion. It's like, are they, perfect or like purposely just going to make Cody Rhodes a 3-time Intercontinental Champion? Is that what they're trying to do? Just to hype him up, so that he can talk about how he's a 3-time Intercontinental Champion? That's the only thing I could see with this going. I mean, Christian has just killed the Intercontinental Division in one fell swoop. So I don't know what's going on with this. I understand, you have to talk. When you're a champion, you have to talk, you have to cut promos, you have to do this stuff, or it's going to be boring. I understand some people can get away with it, but not Christian. He's not exciting in the ring. He doesn't have that kind of attitude like Daniel Bryan or CM Punk or, wrestlers like that. He's an old school type wrestler. He's got to cut promos. He's got to do those things. If he doesn't do those things, he's boring. What's he doing now? Nothing. He's not talking. He's boring. They need to get the title off of him or start doing something with him. Stupid. Santino, and I thought, I didn't know it. Like I said, I don't watch SmackDown, so I don't know what's going on until they bring it up. And they're saying halfway through the match, they're saying Alberto Del Rio is facing Sheamus at No Way Out for the title. But then it looks like he's in a program with Santino Marella. It's like, how confusing can this be? It's like, seriously, who's in the program with Santino Marella? Who's going to face the U.S. champion? I thought Alberto Del Rio. I mean, it makes sense. Put Alberto Del Rio in the program with Santino Marella. You're putting them so much in the ring together. You killed the Alberto Del Rio character. I mean, really, they have. I think he's, somewhat believable. But, I mean, if he won a world champion, within, 6 months' time, I don't think he would be a credible champion. Because he's lost to so many people and been involved with so many mid-carders that he's basically become a upper mid-carder, basically. So I don't think he's a main event guy anymore. They've killed that character, unless they build him up somehow again. But I mean, they continue to show that he can beat people and put them in submission holds. So I guess it's kind of building him up, but I don't know. To me, it just doesn't seem like Del Rio is a main eventer anymore. He's just basically a higher mid-carder. That's all he is. Some guy for Randy Orton or Sheamus to kick their ass, and they randomly put him in world title matches if they ain't got nobody else to put in the match with the world champions. Basically, I mean, CM Punk last year, they had nobody to put him against him. They was like, Del Rio, go. And they actually had him win one time. I'm like, what the fuck? It's like, seriously, retarded. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Alberto. I see him leaving within, maybe a year, 2 years' time. I don't think he's going to be there anymore because if I were him, I wouldn't want to stay there either, unless I'm getting a title shot. Like I said, if I were him, I'd be like, just stick me in the mid-card. If you're not going to do anything with me, whatever. Or, just don't put me in any main event situations because it's a joke. People know I'm not going to win. Straight up. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in that situation and continue to lose and be actually featured as a main event star, but everybody knows you're going to lose. So it's ridiculous. It's about like Chris Jericho. Anytime he comes back now, when he comes back, if he doesn't win, people are not going to think he's a credible wrestler anymore because they're going to think that, yeah, he's had all this past behind him, but since he's came back and did all these things, he hasn't won one title. He hasn't won any matches hardly. He hasn't wrestled on Raw hardly ever now anymore. When he does, he loses or he looks shitty in the ring for the most part. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. I don't think I've never liked Jericho as like I'm basically like a Chris Benoit. I know Chris Benoit, the Eddie Guerrero, things like that. Like a real wrestler. I never liked Chris Jericho that way. Like he has to be with somebody that will make him work. To me, that's my thoughts. And I know a lot of people probably disagree with me. I know they do. Because of his work in ECW and things like that, which I've seen that. But look who his partner was, and look who his partners were. There you go. Same thing in tag team wrestling. I just don't think he's the guy making himself stand out. It's the other guy that's making him work in the ring. Yes, he can cut tremendous promos. He can talk like no other. But there's a lot of guys out there like that. John Cena can talk like no other, but he can also wrestle, but they won't let him. It's just things, I don't know. I'm rambling. We also had, which is it was a pretty good match. I just didn't want to watch it. We've seen it 40,000 times. Kofi and R-Truth versus Ziggler and Jack Swagger. Good match. I thought maybe they're going to drop the belts here. And I was like, please don't get the belts on Dolph and Ziggler or Dolph and Jack. And they didn't, thank God. And we saw the splitting of Dolph and Jack Swagger. So awesome. Finally. How long did this take? Shit. Ziggler is ready to go on. I'm sorry. I don't think this is the thing. I think the WWE is not ready for some of the younger talent. They think they're ready. The younger talent is ready. They're ready to move up, but the WWE doesn't have that faith in them. So that's what is the big issue with them not getting that spot is because the WWE think that they're not ready, but the fans like them. They know they're ready. Fans are ready to cheer for Cody Rhodes as a world champion or Dolph Ziggler as a world champion. They're ready to cheer for that stuff. But it's just the WWE doesn't feel like they're ready or that they should take the gamble on that. But I mean, there's a lot of things like Cody Rhodes would probably draw. I mean, I'm sure Cody would come up with something to sell shirts. If something were, he would come up with something to be able to be marketable as a world champion. If they said, you figure out something, we'll make you a main eventer. I'm sure he would come up with something because he has, I think, a great mind for the business. I mean, hell, look who his brother and look who his dad is. I mean, you can question his brother's wrestling talent all you want, but he was a great wrestler. He did a lot of great things in the history. Go back to WCW, go back to Goldust, look at all that stuff. He did a lot of things. And as a Dustin Rhodes character, it's probably the best stuff. But people don't give him, his just due with that stuff. And Dusty Rhodes, I mean, I don't think I need to say anything about that. The American Dream, I mean, they put polka dots on him and they made it work. So there you go. They put polka dots on Cody Rhodes. I'm sure he'll make it work. Hell, he was wearing pink or something. I think at WrestleMania, I thought, like red, like it looks like people were calling him underoos or something. People still like him. He's a great wrestler. CM Punk, Daniel Bryan, 1 hour main event. Stupid. And like I told Drew Wosho, I think it was Jake, they should have been swapped. The Brodus Clay and Big Show thing, they should have got the Big Show stuff out of the way at the beginning of the show. And at the end, they should have had what happened because that was more main event worthy, not the crap we got. It was more main event worthy. But I know the comment he said was that they'll never think Daniel Bryan and whatever can main event. I mean, they made a been in the Raw before, so that just null and voids anything that he said about that. But, they so didn't think Daniel Bryan was ready, and now they understand, and they're slowly starting to let him do things like that, and they're slowly starting to understand. Hey, this guy was we were just that close to having a huge star, and we broke him, so they realized that. So now they're trying to build him back up, and they're putting him in high-profile matches. So they found out too late that Daniel Bryan was that he actually could do it, and that people, like I said, that one match. I don't understand how one match at WrestleMania, and the whole world is yes, yes, yes all the freaking time now. I don't get it. I don't know if did he do it at WrestleMania or did he do it on a program? And it's like I don't understand how that he got. It's just like the night after WrestleMania, it's like bam, Daniel Bryan's off and running, and it's like I don't know if they did that on purpose to give him the opportunity to go and talk and do things. I think they did, and I think I think CM Punk has to have their ear with some of the guys from ROH, like Daniel Bryan. I mean, what Daniel Bryan has is like legendary. I mean, I heard about him for like 10 years ago. I was hearing about Bryan Danielson, and I just surprised that he actually made it. And now, he's. I mean, you have to be at all honest. He's been doing this business for a while. How long has he got? I mean, that's just a quite honesty of everything. It's just like same thing with Guerrero and Benoit. They've been doing it a long time. They finally made it to WWE, and it took them a long time to actually prove that they could main event and actually be a main eventer. In Benoit's case, he went a little nutso and loco, and we all know the story. But Eddie Guerrero, he had a lot of demons too, but that all came from trying to make it in the business and things like that. So Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, they guys that they said on Raw last night, they parallel their careers. They both came from ROH. CM Punk had some time in TNA when it was first starting as a fledgling promotion. He was with Raven. Actually, I think it was like 2000. He was with Raven. I think I remember the date. You can find videos on YouTube. He was in Raven's little faction, and I kind of remember that a little bit watching it briefly, but I don't remember him really too much. Even if I go back and watch the videos, I don't remember. But and maybe Raven kind of rubbed off some talent there. But when he went to the ROH, then of course he grew because ROH lets people grow, unlike some organizations. But yeah, Raw was pretty crappy. That's about it. That's not very much else to talk about. I don't think of it. Kane was beat down. Some storyline. I would assume a triple threat match at No Way Out. Maybe a cage match. You already got the cage for Big Show and Cena. Might as well do it again. Have a cage match. Kane, Daniel Bryan, and CM Punk. It'd be pretty awesome. For the title. It'd be awesome. Be awesome. Have Kane walk out with the title. It'd be kind of cool. I mean, CM Punk's had the belt for a while, so it's time for somebody to get the belt. So it'd be kind of cool if Kane won it, and then Daniel Bryan just moves on, and something else happens like throughout the night to have him start a feud, maybe Orton or something like that. Because like I can see Daniel Bryan moving on, but who's he gonna face next? And I think he's gonna be a heel. Because I think they want him to be a heel so bad. They want him to do that heel character and see if he can get over the heel, and then try and switch over to the babyface. Because I think once he works the heel character for a while and gets to know how, because I think that's the only thing he needs to work on is he's not used to working the crowd and, calling them names and, just doing that whole shtick that all the other wrestlers, basically are really good at. He's he is the complete opposite. He can wrestle like no other, but he can't talk on the mic. So that's the one thing I think that he needs to really grasp. And I think that's the only thing he's having trouble with. But now, I think he's pretty caught on. But sometimes when he talks, he talks like he's looking into a mirror. So, yeah. I'm sure I'd be the same way if I was in the ring with like 20,000 people watching you. But, he's a wrestler. He's wrestled for a long time. So I don't know, like, he probably just came out there, wrestled, and left. That's basically probably all he did. I don't know if he talked. I heard he did a lot of talking in ROH. From what I hear from watching Tree Row Show, Daniel Bryan, Fanatic Jake. So, yeah. So who knows what's going to happen? Who knows? Tag Team Champion, I'm just waiting for Abraham, Saddam Washington's little group to start their thing. I don't know when it's going to happen, but I'm sure it's going to be some amazing stuff. Maybe they'll wait till after No Way Out and start doing it. Revolution, I don't know what the hell that's all about. If that was just for the video game, it's going to be retarded. Yeah. That video game segment was a waste of like 10 minutes of our time. They could have had a match in that time. A Divas match. Did they even have a Divas match last night? They didn't have a Divas match last night. Oh, I just realized that. That's how sad the women's division is. They didn't even have a match and no one noticed. Thank you for watching. I don't know how anything else to talk about. Been trying to get caught up on TNA. I think AJ Styles faced Bobby Roode. I don't know the outcome. Tell me below. TNA looking pretty good though. So I'll try and stop the 20-minute mark. Got a few seconds. Watch TNA. Looks like pretty good. Devon, Garrett. Why did they stop the match? Stupid. Week before that, really good show. I really enjoyed the qualifiers and things like that. Really awesome. They need to do more of that kind of stuff before Fight Night. And then Fight Night, what I watched so far is pretty good. Devon wrestling, good stuff. Divas, seriously, Divas. Start off the show with Divas. Good, hot Divas, though. Oh, sorry. Alright, bye, people. Have fun and continue to watch the Divas division. Someone has to. Bye.